the Honey Badger, just checking in. Want to review the truck I just bought for the next project. Actually, they're going to be probably the first project I do for you guys. It's going to be it's a 2003 Chevy Silverado 2500 Duramax with a diesel engine. I bought it as a project truck, knowing it had some problems with it, and it's already showing some issues. So I'll go over those with you, kind of give it a cold start, walk through it, show the items that I need to do with it and what I expect to do, and then the problems that just occurred, and kind of just outline that and go from there. And I'll walk you through it, kind of show you how things are, see what needs to be done, and we'll kind of go from there. Some plans I got for it, some things that we need to do to it, make sure it's all roadworthy and all, etc. For you advanced users, I've never worked on a diesel before, so we're going to learn together. For those basic users, those people just learning, we're going to do a lot of stuff to this. We're going to do brakes, we're going to do some suspension, we're going to do some body work, do a lot of stuff. We're going to do some basic troubleshooting. So there's a lot to be in store for this vehicle. It is a huge project, and we're going to get going. Now that the lift is reinstalled and we're going to use it, this is what's going to go in there. We're going to get this truck on there and start doing some work. All right, let me walk you around. First things first, 2500 diesel Duramax. Woo! All righty. This thing's got about a 15,200 pound towing capacity, and you can put 3,000 pounds of payload in it, so that includes anything you put in the bed, any people, and any fuel. Anything you want to tow in the bed or off the bumper itself. So this truck's a pretty powerful truck, got a lot of towing capacity. It's not as big as the newer ones, but this is going to do. She's quite ugly, as you can see. Front hood there, the birds have been taking advantage of on the hood as well as up on the roof. Not too sure what's going on with that. So they added an aftermarket grille. Now if you look forward there and look at the suspension, you notice those front wheels are leaning in pretty good, and the cause of that is the front suspension is just trash, is really what it comes down to. There's nothing left to it. It's worn out, it needs to be rebuilt. So those basic users, you're going to get to see me do that. If you've never done it before, that's what you got. All right, anybody who are familiar with Chevy Silverados know that these rocker panels rust out here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these out. We're probably going to start up here, and the cab corners rust out as well. So we're going to cut this out, and then we're going to chuck this rocker panel here, and it goes all the way through. And I was able to find a rocker panel repair kit that goes all the way through. So what we're going to do is chop it back. We'll probably chop it right up in here, and then we'll chop it right here and replace it all, and then we'll take out the cab corners as well. It's just a fact of Chevy's life. That's what they do. But those who are wondering if this is proper, do not, I repeat, do not use foam to put that in there. All they did is put foam in there, and that absorbs water and brings it even worse for rusting. All right, over here on the bed, well, I can tell you right now, I'm not saving the bed. What we're going to do is we're going to go get one of those cheap plasma cutters, and we're going to cut this bed right off the truck. I'm not going to waste my time with it. It's just not worth it. It's rusted out here. The bed is pretty much destroyed. It's got holes in it. It's rusted out. It's got some pretty big dents in it. It's just not worth my time trying to fix it. You can go and get new cabs, new beds. Those ain't got any other ideas about what I should do with it? Should I make it a flat bed and just leave it? My plan is to tow a fifth wheeler or a trailer with it. I'm not sure that I want to use it, need it 100% for a pickup, but we'll see. The bumper back here is actually in good shape, and it's got a brand new hitch on it. I'm not sure why they did that, but we're going to do that. I think the tailgate's salvageable, so we'll use that. We'll save that. But as you can see, there's a lot of rust here going through the hole here. Get out of the shade here. There's a lot of rust right here, so we're just going to toss this bed. We're going to plasma cut it off. Good chance for us to learn how to use a plasma cutter and show you guys what a plasma cutter will do and go from there. So cosmetically, that's what we got to deal with on the major cosmetics there. So that's what we got to do. The hood, same thing with the hood. Hood's got some major dents in it. We're not going to save it. It's not worth saving. We're going to go find another hood that's worth it. There's all sorts of wreck stuff. Now up there, up there, besides all the bird poop, all up there by the windshield, there's a lot of rust. So we're gonna have to pop out that windshield, and then we're gonna clean that up, do some welding if we have to, fix that drain cap, and then put that windshield back in. One other thing I noticed here, and I've heard them called, they're the fifth wheel rashes, is right here. This is a dent from the rash of a fifth wheel. I dented in right there, so we'll have to pop that out. Not sure how I'm gonna do that yet. We'll have to figure that out as we go, but either case, we'll have to pull out this window. And you're wondering, if you're doing all this work, are you gonna paint it? Well, yes we are. All right, one other rash is up here. There's a little small dent here. We'll pull that out. Looks like it rubbed something. But other than that, this the only part that doesn't need too much work is the roof. It's just not too bad. A lot of bird poop up here, but there you go. We'll fix that. So we got a good back windshield. We'll take care of that. Like I said, this bed with the fifth wheel, actually the gooseneck, is just trashed. As you can see, there's all sorts of rust holes here. It's an Iowa pickup. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna get rid of it, torch it off of here, and start over. Next thing we want to cover here is these front bumpers. I'm not sure who thought it was a good idea to take the Sawzall to, or whatever, hacksaw to this front bumper, but they did. That's to accommodate these bigger wheels. If you guys like these wheels, let me know. I'm going to take them off and clean them up, or I think I want to go back to stock. I'm kind of a guy that likes to go with stock look and stock performance, but these wheels are here and they're free. So if I clean them up and make them look pretty, they might be able to stay. So as you can see, the tires are shot, so we'll need new tires. You guys got a recommendation how to do all that stuff? What I should do, put them in the comment section below. Here's a good look of how bad that front suspension is. Notice that front wheel leaning in. For those viewers new to this, the wheel should not be leaning in like that. So what that's a good indication of is you got probably an upper control arm bushing's worn out down there, or we got a control arm bushing that's going bad there, or control arm joint. My guess it's a combination of all the above. What we're going to do is do an estimate, see how much work needs to be done on what, and then kind of figure out what our game plan is. Alrighty, inside the cab here, typical Chevy stuff. Nasty seat is split. Thankfully it's leather, so what we can do is we can get a leather kit to replace this front seat here, as well as that seat over there. That's rusted out as well. Sorry about the shadow. Trying to give you the best view with the sun. Typical, more Chevy stuff here. Simple fix, but it's just a lot of nuisance items. We'll get those working on. All right, going up here, steering wheel column, covers off. All sorts of stuff hanging down there. Got a brake controller hanging down there. We actually got a monitor of what's going on with the engine, so we'll edge performance. We'll work on that, see what that's going on. All right, inside of the cab here, from the passenger side view, the back part is not too bad. It's not too dirty, not too nasty. There's a few stains here or there, but not too bad. It's in not bad a shape. It doesn't smell. There's not too many stains up there on the ceiling. So I think the interior, we'll call it a push. Not too bad. It can be cleaned up. All right, these are all the cosmetic items we're going to need to get working on once we know this truck is a viable mechanical truck. Showing around a little bit more, I forgot to mention, radio is just completely missing. The heating and air conditioning system is dead. I'm not sure why. My guess somebody's been working on it. You can see all these wires down there. Those are actually acorn wires to help you work on your home electrical system. So not sure that those belong in a truck. So we're going to dig into that as well. We're going to do that all after we know that we can get this truck mechanically sound before we start digging into all the other stuff. Let's do a cold start. Whew. All right, so the good news is the truck runs, gets started, doesn't have to have too bad a start. There's a check engine light on there. There's all sorts of stuff on there. So I think the service airbag light. We got some, look at the gauge there. We got some EGTs. We have some boost pressure, engine temperature, etc. Now the problem we got here is we have no brakes because I have a broken brake line. Forgot to talk about that. I'll show you that in a minute. All right, the first crux of the problem we have with this truck, that's the biggest issue we have, is the fact that the engine does not recognize the transmission doesn't recognize the engine. So if you look down there, there is no indicator that there is a park light right there. So if I do this, it shows reverse, but it doesn't show park. Go to neutral, go to drive, it's flashing. Now what it says is range shift inhibited. So what it means is that this transmission doesn't know what's going on. It doesn't know where it should be or shouldn't be, either neutral, what gear it's in, does it have an issue? Now this range shift inhibited is a major issue to start out with. So we're going to, in the other positions, they flash. Now if I let off the brake, the truck doesn't go forward at all. It just coasts. So that's the problem we have, and that we got to fix that. That's the biggest issue we got. No, we're not getting blow by on the cylinders, so we're nothing getting in the crank. It also tells me that fuel injectors are probably in pretty good shape. We did a cold start, so that shows me that it's running okay. We're not having injector issues. So those are the biggest things we got going on with these diesels, is we got head issues as well as oil issues. So well, the head, you want to make sure it doesn't have head gasket issues. When you check on this when it's cold, there's no pressure. If there's pressure here, that means that their gases are escaping by the head gasket and they're getting into the cooling system. So we don't have any pressure here. You see it's nice and cold, there's no pressure, so we're good there. So the biggest things I was worried about with this diesel, and it would have been a no-go item for me, is if I had a head gasket issue, if I had any injector issues, and we'll talk about that later on these Duramaxes, or if I had any blow-by as well, so the engine wasn't running well. The rest of the stuff is going to be little items. As you can see, somebody did something here, not sure what that's about, so I have to dig into that. We do have a tuner or monitor. I show that edge performance. It's, you know, that was first generation type of thing, so we'll work on that. We have some serious engineering here that's very questionable. This is actually cable wire for your speaker. Don't do this. This is just stupid. So overall, the engine's in not bad shape. It has cold air intake as well as some bigger intakes from the aftermarket intakes for the turbo. So a little bit of extra work. I looked at the turbo down there earlier. It looks like it's completely on stock, which is good. We want that. It looks like some mice have been active on this blanket here, so we'll dig into that as well. Overall, we have a slightly modified with a cold air intake and an upper boost intake there for a little bit of added extra performance. They did some extra intercooler hoses there, which is nice, but it doesn't look like they did a whole lot of extra stuff. They got a Canon air filter that's severely in need of some cleaning. So that's where we're at with this thing. It needs some brakes. As you can see, I got a vice grip there on the brake line. Stole that idea from my other brother, from another mother, Derek from Vice Grip Garage. Derek, never thought about that, but I don't see why you can't do that. Appreciate it. What we'll do is get this thing up in the garage and get it up on the lift and look underneath it. But you know, it's typical Iowa stuff. The frame doesn't look too rusted out, so what we'll do is we'll get, as I mentioned earlier, we're just going to get this bed off and we'll start working on that as well. Alrighty. Serious flat tires over there. I'm always putting air in that sucker, and I'm not putting any more money in that tires. I'm just going to keep putting air in it until I figure out what I'm going to do. Looks like I need an exhaust system, all sorts of stuff. So we'll get under this thing, we'll get it up on the lift and take a look. All right, Honey Badger Nation, you just saw a walk around of the 2003 Duramax. There's about 3.5 years ago that I recorded that footage. I'm just getting around to cutting it up and editing it and all that sort of stuff. Life got in the way. So now we're continuing this project in a different location. Now that some of you guys have been following along, I've moved to Las Vegas. So we're here in Las Vegas, set up shop. Project is going to continue. I'm recording videos. The truck is moving along. Next is going to be the brakes, the suspension, and then we're going to work on the rest. The brakes were done in Iowa when I lived there. The suspension stuff is I've started working on here now that I'm in Las Vegas. So you'll see videos, and if you see different views, that's why. Explains. If you've ever done these YouTube stuff, it takes a while and life gets in the way, but I've decided to continue on. So about 3.5 years later, we're back at it. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Tell me what you like. Leave comments and suggestions down below. There's some things that are just, I won't be able to change, some things that I will be able to take in consideration. So I appreciate all the support. Thanks for the loving community. If you're mean, please leave. If you're happy, enjoy joy, and want to give back to everybody else, stay around. There's a lot to go on with this project. I'm fully committed. I'm looking at another 3 months. So again, Chevy 2003 Chevy Duramax rebuild. I wouldn't call it a restoration, but we'll call it a rebuild, refresh. Alrighty, it's tea time. Talk to you guys later.